BTS chat after. Yeah. So I'm so glad we're here.
I'm very happy that we're here.
You don't know what you have until you've either lost it or you're just about to lose it, and then you realise it's actually pretty good what we do.
Yeah. You know, season does my head in. Sometimes you do my head in. But all I wanted last Sunday, all I wanted was to be sitting here on Wednesday, the 4th of September, 2024, talking fucking rubbish with you.
And that's where we are. And that's what we're about to do.
Ari is a melt. Ari. Hey, there's a lot to get through.
Well, some more breaking news. I don't know if you've checked Twitter in the last 10 minutes.
Regarding
a new backroom acquisition for the Carlton Football Club.
Oh, the Sydney S&C guy?
Yes.
Indeed. Sydney S&C. Sydney S&C.
Yeah, not going to sit here and pretend I know a whole lot, if anything. Don't even know his name. But the one thing I do know is that Sydney are a great club. So
Oh, they fuck.
Okay. You're like you with Port and Geelong and Sydney are the same thing. Oh, great club, respect the club culture. So as soon as I say it, it's a problem.
Talk to me about Port Adelaide. Oh, it's so good. You know what? Don't talk to me about Port Adelaide. I'll just show everyone. Actually, no, you tell me. Last time we were here, we did reflections for St Kilda. Obviously, didn't go our way, but the day went our way. Can you run me through you having to barrack for my boys, the Power?
Before I go, Blues for life. No, I'm not going to Brisbane, unfortunately.
What?
You know this. Don't sit here and be what? You know this. Relax.
What do you mean you're not going to Brisbane?
I'm not going to Brisbane because I'm going to go to Sydney the next week and then Adelaide the week after that.
That is very fair weather of you.
Yeah, no, it's extremely fair weather. You're doing this to get under my skin, and I'm not stooping to your level. Don't even start.
I don't know. All I'm going to say is when I didn't go to GWS during the regular season, you called me fair weather.
I'd argue going to a regular season game is far more hardcore than going to a final. But
it's more expensive for a final. It's harder to get there in a final. More at stake in a final.
Okay, but I would use the analogy of if you go see a band at some dingy club in front of 200 people, that's more hardcore and that's more to the roots than seeing them at the MCG when there's 90,000 people there.
So we're not going to the MCG.
Yeah, we'll have a cry about it, mate.
You would be wrong.
I'm right. I'm right. What was I saying? Port Adelaide. No, so I don't think I could have given less of a shit about a game that would decide a lot of things in regards to not only my, like, in my life, technically, like I wouldn't be doing the show if Port had lost, and we would be doing other content if Port had lost, whatever. Right? So it does affect my life as much as it does affect my supporting life as well. But I was so mentally drained after that game last week, 2 weeks ago. Like I was done. Like emotionally and mentally, I was like I was watching the game and I couldn't care. Like now I care. Now I'm like, come on, Jordan Sweet. There's a poster of him up on my wall. But at the time I was just like, I can't.
And what happened?
The Port won.
And did you get through?
Got through. We're here. Just
did
about.
You survive?
Yes.
Are we playing in finals?
We are. We got
Are you
kicked
stronger
over.
for it, having lived through another heartache?
Yeah, but like, it's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You know what it is? It's like something other than us is telling us that we're staying alive.
So this is the conclusion that I came to because I had a little bit of an existential crisis after last week. I was like, I was so confused. And I don't want to sit here and give anyone faith. But the conclusion that I came to was I spoke last week about how I spoke last week or the week before about how curse, the only way it ends is by cursing its victim one last time in the most heartbreaking, cruel fashion imaginable, blah, blah, blah. I reckon we experienced for us to have experienced what we experienced on Sunday afternoon, but also for us to then play finals through stuff that's out of our control, I feel like that means like the footy gods are saying, we pushed you so far almost off the cliff, and then we're going to yank you back all the way the other way.
Yep.
We're going to take you on this emotional torture. That's what I reckon that means.
Paul Sebastiani said something very fascinating last night when we were doing our predictions on the jump punch, and he said, Carlton to beat Brisbane in extra time. You just know that we have extra time in a final this year. You just know, whether it's this week, the week after, whatever, that'll be part of the journey.
It feels like we've gone through everything this year. We've gone through we've gone through a draw. We went through the 46-point comeback and opening round. We went through. Have we had a draw? He says no.
Nope.
No. Sorry, we had the Richmond game, which was just insane. The draw was last year. Ignore me. We had the whatever the fuck happened in gather round. We had the 10-goal smashings. We had the heartbreak. We had the kick after the siren miss. We had a 10-goal smashing the other way. Then we had whatever happened on Sunday. I feel like we do have to go through extra time at some stage.
We're not just going to roll. We're not rolling into Saturday for a regulation 28-point loss.
You'd hope not.
No,
you'd hope
you
that
know
happen.
You'd
hope they have a bit more fight in them than that.
You just know. I just think, I sometimes make fun of you. I think this is the greatest piece of content I've ever seen you do.
Quarter time. Whilst also playing West Coast in Perth the week before was 1995. Just stand by one moment. Stand by one moment.
I'm standing by. How about my boys, the power from Port?
We can do the show like this.
It's so much more than a sport, mate. I'm telling you.
I bought this and that little stuffed toy. $50.
$50.
I bought some footy cards as well. It totaled it up to 50.
Did you get any bangers?
No.
No, just whatever.
I got 2 Jai Simpkins, which I thought was pretty counterproductive.
Yeah, that's not going to be worth much.
No, because I'm technically one less card down.
I
bought 2 packs. They're like 7 each. But I got 2 of the same. So.
All right. Well, look, let's get the show on the road. So those of you tuning in from home, I'm a little bit conflicted, and you'll see why, because this was what the background was supposed to look like. Charlie Curnow. I like to, I don't know if you all notice this every week, but I like to pick specific players to feature on the thumbnail. I don't know if Charlie's playing now, so in the event that he's not, we know that Doc is playing. So yeah, it's just all up in the air. What does your gut feel tell you
about Charlie?
In or out?
Out.
He what?
Out. The increasingly unlikely is leaning me towards it tips over that way, and then he doesn't play Whereas if he was coming back and was increasingly likely, I would say that he plays. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it was just weird. He did the injury against the Hawks. They named him as 1 to 2 weeks. And then
They named him in the squad for Sunday.
They did name him in the squad for Sunday. And then they rolled him out last week at open training with that
brace
foot contraption. And it was just a little weird. Like, you think it was a little bit...
It felt contrived. I don't want to sit here and pop the club, obviously, but I felt...
No, it's not potting the club at all. I think it's telling us something that he's just not ready.
I felt a little bit like a performance exercise, I think, in hindsight.
Yeah.
In hindsight. But we'll never know. We'll never truly know, I don't think. Because you back the club in, as you do, because you have to. You back them in with Gov, and then they make him a laid out, so you assume that he's going to play this week, and I think all signs lead to him playing this week. And Charlie was basically in the exact same boat, named in the squad, didn't get named in the starting 23, but it was like, all right, if he's at least named in the squad with an extra 2 weeks break, sure, he'll be fine. And it's been, 4 weeks since the 1 to 2 weeker? 3 weeks? 4 weeks.
24 days. They were talking about it on the Ben and Harry podcast today.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
It's going to be 4 weeks by the time we get to Saturday. So you could potentially make it 6 weeks or 5 weeks with I don't know. You played De Koning and Pitto, rest De Koning forward. Who knows?
That would have to be the play. I think that's the play anyway, but I think that would have to be even more of the play.
Right. So, good evening to everyone watching. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do it a little bit different. We're not going to do 2 games reflecting on the Lions. We're going to reflect on opening round. We're going to go back to what we know about when Carlton played Brisbane this season. Try and pick out some moments that Ari's going to bring up for us that might be relevant for Saturday. Take a look at all the angles. We're going to do the quiz. I've got a game that Foxwood has created for us. And then we're going to reflect, but then we're going to look ahead. So we're going to start previewing things tonight, and we will go from there. So, Ari, what happened? Well, opening round, man, that's just come and gone.
It simultaneously feels like yesterday and 5 years ago.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away.
Okay, swiftly moving on.
Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. Okay, go on.
You done?
I'm done.
Is that a song that's gone over my head?
Oh, you don't know Yesterday by the Beatles?
No, man.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, there's just this lack of...
Oasis reformed. I know that. Wonderwall.
Do you know who the Beatles are?
Yes, I know who the Beatles are. I don't know the song. I know who the Beatles are. I just don't know the song.
Name one song from the Beatles.
Hey Jude.
Hey Jude. All right.
I'm not. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, it's all right. There's only 83 people judging you that you don't know the song Yesterday by the Beatles, but that's okay.
If that's what they're judging me on, I think I'm going all right.
Okay.
I think I'm going all right.
Okay.
Anyways, so going back to the opening round, it was the scene of the crime on multiple occasions. Prior to 2023, Carlton and Brisbane hadn't had too many classic games. I mean, obviously there was a 2009 elimination final as well as the Crips heroics in 2019. But apart from those 2 fixtures, normally this game comes and goes without much fanfare or memorability, especially over recent years. That all changed in 2023, where the Blues went up to the Gabba and nearly performed the heist of the century. 5 goals up in a prelim before the Lions got on a roll and did enough to book their place in the big dance. The story of 2023 ended at the Gabba, so it was only poetic that the story of 2024 started where they left off. If the previous year's prelim was anything to go by, a couple of things were certainly going to happen. One, the travelling Blues contingent was going to be allowed and almost drown out the home crowd. The 22 players in navy blue were going to give it a red hot crack, and the Lions were ready to spoil the parade and carry on their business. Just like the year previous, an early Harry Mackay goal got the Blues faithful up and about. However, unlike in the prelim, it was the Lions who got off to a red hot start, reaching a game-high 46-point lead at the 18th minute mark of the second quarter. Taking it back to the prelim for a second, there was plenty of narratives that came out of that game. However, one of the main ones for the Blues was their inability to really put Brisbane to the sword, leaving the door slightly ajar despite their really good start, allowing the Lions enough time to come back and win. So an 8-goal deficit felt like an insurmountable lead for the Blues to claw back, considering what they had faced and what was ahead of them. However, the Blues remembered what the Lions did to them last year and showed it was possible. A ball out the back finds Cunningham, who smoothly strolls into an open goal to kick the Blues' third goal of the game, before vintage Charlie Curnow, out the back of a pack in the goal square, gets another from the Blues before half-time. 31 points down at the main break, cue the Avalanche. Curnow, Kennedy, Curnow, Carroll, and then finally, Matt Cottrell. Carlton hit the front. All of a sudden, the game turns on its head. In a sequence of play that almost mirrored that which got the Lions the lead in their prelim the year before, the Blues flipped the switch. And once they hit the front, it felt like they were always going to win it. It was just a small matter of how they were going to win it. The Blues faced an interesting offseason, one that mainly consisted of the talk of one man, Harry Mackay, who faced trade speculations after a disappointing 2023 campaign. The talk was all about whether or not he was able to shake off the goal-kicking yips that had plagued him all year. In the same way that it was poetic that the Blues started 2024 at the place that they ended 2023, it was poetic that the man to seal the deal for the Blues was the man who was ridiculed and criticised more than any other footballer over the last 12 months. Mackay, as he so often does, gets on the end of a Nick Newman kick inside 50 and went back to slot through a marvellous drop punt to give the Blues a lead with 90 seconds to go. The siren goes not long after, and the Blues, as well as Harry Mackay, exercise the demons that have lived through them throughout the offseason. They got their revenge. Now, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, as we all know, as news filtered through in the coming days that the spiritual leader of the club, Sam Docherty, had suffered his third ACL injury in that game, ruling him out for what was then thought to be the season. A heartbreaking development in the journey of one of the best people in football, let alone the Carlton Football Club. However, in the same way that it was poetic that the Blues started 2024 at the place they ended 2023, in the same way that it was poetic that the man to exact revenge on the Lions was the man so heavily ridiculed throughout the entire offseason, it seems pretty poetic that Sam Docherty, a mere 25 weeks after his injury, returns back to the Gabba as the Blues look to start their quest to pull off the heist of the century. For real this time.
For real this time.
There you go.
Okay. Have you watched opening round?
Not back, no.
Okay. You need to watch opening round.
Okay.
I just think everyone watching, first of all, well done, Ari. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
And that was really, you really stepped it up for finals, you know?
Oh, thank you. This was very much over lunch at work today. Just
No. It doesn't matter how it got done, when it got done, and it was at a high level. So well done. I know, you like compliments, so I'll give you a compliment.
Yeah, no, thank you. I know.
Build him up.
Yeah, sorry, you'll knock me down for the next 45 minutes.
No. Opening round was cooked, man. Because when I watched it, I didn't see. I mean, we got down in the hole by 46. I didn't see how we were even going to get back in the game. And the way which we got back in the game, with the speed in which we got back in the game, was remarkable. It was all done in like 25 minutes of game time on either side of half time. Yep. And I think it kind of says a little something about the year, don't you?
Well, I love to look at storylines within games that kind of are used as kind of like a allegory in a sense for the season as a whole. And I feel like the very up and down nature of the game that had very little middling parts to it, maybe like halfway through the third quarter, and from then on it was pretty competitive. But it was either a Brisbane Avalanche or Carlton dominating. And I feel like that's basically been the season for Carlton. We've either been great, go like win the first 5 games, whatever it was, or either we've been bad, as we have been in the last kind of 2 months. or like as we were in that middle portion of the year, and winning 1 from 5. I mean, we've been really good and then bad. So, well, obviously looking back at like the stats and stuff and like the highlights, it felt almost. I'll tell you what it feels like. It felt like if you were like as a kid in the living room with like a toy footy, you're mucking around and you just go, oh, ball up, clearance, mark, goal, ball up, clearance, mark, goal, just as a joke, and that's what it felt like. And that's what I say. That's what it felt like. That's what it was. Kicked 4 goals in like 3 minutes. It was insane.
So this is it here, right? This period here, it all kind of made sense. When they got it out to 46 points, the Lions had kicked 3 behinds. I believe it was Hipwood, Cameron. And it wasn't until that third behind, and like we were like a dead carcass where we had nothing going.
Yeah.
And then from that third behind, we quickly kicked one. It was an end-to-end goal. Charlie kicks the ball. It dribbles past whatever contest that was there at half forward. Cunningham picks it up, runs into open goal, and then we just get going. And you can see this little section here where we just kind of get going. We hit the lead in the third quarter, and I don't really know what we did. It was kind of like we just persisted with what we were trying to do, and then we waited, and when our turn came, we just took our opportunities. It was just bizarre. But I took away a couple of things from it. I took away that I'm really happy that Link McCarthy and Kadeem Coleman are not playing.
Yeah.
I took away Tom De Koning's really important for this matchup, potentially.
Yeah.
And I took away that I can't help but feel a mental edge. We're down 46.
That's what I kind of brought up when I was speaking about it just before. Like a lot of people said, and a lot of people externally, like non-Carlton supporters, whenever we speak about the prelim, they tend to me and go, if you kicked one more goal in that first quarter, if you went into quarter time 35 points up, you win the game.
Yeah,
because it just feels like, despite it only being one more goal, it felt like every goal that was kicked more felt worth more, like felt worth multiple, if that makes sense. So it's like every goal kicked after the 5th goal felt like 2, and then 3, etc., because it's that one more goal, and then obviously time becomes a factor and all that stuff. So 46 points it's not just a comeback. Like teams come back from 4 goals, 5 goals down all the time, right? It happens. No one comes like 46 points. It's 8 goals.
Yeah.
Away at the Gabba.
And we couldn't get anything going.
Yeah.
Like couldn't get a thing, seemingly couldn't get a single thing going for us. So
because I think coming out of that prelim as well, I think what you said there about the mental edge, I think is very fascinating, because I think despite the fact that we lost the prelim, I think a lot of the players would have looked within themselves and looked at each other and looked to Vossi and said, they bleed. They're so gettable. They're very gettable. That's even before opening round. And I think what happened in opening round showed that, mate, 46 points down and we come back and win. They're more than gettable. Regardless of where they are. They're more than gettable.
Absolutely.
And I think that having that is going to be very valuable, I think.
I just want to take a look. This was these were the lineups going into that game. Yeah. So what's different of note? If we go to the Lions, Coleman won't play. Gardner won't play. Is Starcevic injured? Or am I tripping on that?
Don't know.
You're not really aware? Okay.
No, I'm not up to date. Well, the one for me is Dane Zorko playing off halfback.
Yes. Okay.
Obviously, no Link McCarthy, obviously.
No Link McCarthy, and I think there might have been one more. Anyway, we didn't have Wiedering, and we didn't... Oh, that was the other thing I remember. Lewis Young's role was really important that day.
Yeah.
And I know that he can be polarizing with some people. Some people think he's good enough. Some people think he's not, whatever. He was very good and played a very important role in this game. Now, he played obviously because Wiedering didn't. So that's going to be a question for selection tomorrow. Yes, no Coleman as well. Digsby, thank you. So for us, what have we got here?
Where do you want to start?
Cunners won't play. Cottrell won't play. Fogarty won't play.
Curnow probably doesn't play.
Curnow probably doesn't play.
Jordan Boyd doesn't play.
Jordan Boyd doesn't play. Chera doesn't play. Always doesn't play.
No, he doesn't play. Zach Williams and Brody Kemp probably play forward.
Yep. We bring in Wiedering. We bring in Walsh. We bring in, yes, from this team. So that was the other thing I wanted to just highlight.
And then Jack Carroll, the sub. Yeah, probably, maybe. We'll see.
Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. I haven't given him too much thought.
Right.
He's in the potential of the 26 I could play, so you never know.
Right. So, are you more confident or less confident? Because I think going into the Gabba before opening round was, in a weird way, more scary than what it is this Saturday.
I don't agree purely because of the ramifications.
No, in terms of going and getting a result.
What do you mean less scary? Less scary this time than opening round?
Your belief that we can get a result.
I wouldn't say it's. I don't know if it's that much of a difference. I know that I'm more scared heading into this game purely because it's a final, and if we lose, we're out, we're done. Whereas opening round, it's the first round of a 25 game season. It's fine. If we lose, it's okay. All that stuff, right? Which is kind of goes without saying. However, I feel like the Lions. Last year, we versed the Brisbane team that we knew from 2023, which was they didn't lose at all at home, and they were a kick away from a grand final, a kick away from a premiership, right? So going into that game in opening round, the thought process goes, okay, that's the Brisbane team we're versing. However, it's also the best time to verse a team that good. You want to verse them early when they might not be ready, when they might be underdone, etc., etc. Whereas it's actually quite ironic that you take that thought process and do it now at the end of the season, elimination final. You go, hold on, they've gotten worse despite their form trajectory over the last kind of back into the season. They're how good they are in comparison to how good they were in opening round is worse. If that makes sense.
Kind of.
Yeah, in a roundabout way. I also think the reason you said that mental edge as well, which I think is very important, because not only do we have the Gabba mental edge and the versus Brisbane, that part of it, I think Brisbane should have beat Collingwood and conceded 3 goals in 2 minutes. That doesn't happen to a team that's switched on, especially if late on in the season. They were 5 goals up in the first quarter against GWS, kicked like 5 goals, 8 in the first quarter, and kicked themselves out of it.
They've had that trait all year, the Lions.
Exactly. Yeah.
Been a little bit off.
I don't want to use the word flaky because I think that's a little bit disrespectful, but that sort of not fully mentally sharp, that 5% off, that 2% off, that in finals is 10, 15% because of how fine the margins are.
To be fair, so have we. I think once we got to 11-4, we've shown that 2-3% that's just off. And even amongst 11-4, I mean, the Adelaide game was that little moment. I would say our concentration in moments hurt us as well in probably 5 or 6 games in the back end.
I would argue not as much as Brisbane's. I think our downfall more this season has been we've been figured out structurally. In my opinion, we've been figured whereas Brisbane, whilst they were figured out structurally, even when they've been performing well over this last kind of back into the season, should have beat the Giants, fell away in horrendous fashion. Should have beat Collingwood, fell away, and Essendon in the last round I mean, they beat Essendon, but they also weren't great in the back end of that game either.
I was reading through Twitter yesterday, and I saw today, whatever it was. I can't remember who was posting about it or talking about it. I think it might have been a Daniel Hoyne piece where he was talking about the pressure rating. Carlton have had a pressure rating of 180 or more in 20 of our 23 games this year. Brisbane have done it 10 times this year. Kind of got me thinking, I mean, we have a pretty basic mandate when it comes to playing the game, right? Contest and pressure. I would say finals football is more contest and pressure than what it's not.
I would agree, yep.
And I would say we've been trying to play that final style football all year over this methodical, precise. I don't know if that's even a way to detail such a way to play the game, but I do think our brand of football is a finals football brand.
I do agree, and I also think that's why it becomes a combination of easy to find out, easy to work out, as well as hard to maintain. Because I think like I love going back to the Geelong game that we played earlier, the second time we played Geelong and we smashed them, because that game was just the typified everything that we want. Like ruthless, efficient, hard, like tough in the contest. Like that game is like one of the best games I've seen Carlton play in my lifetime, right? So but it's hard to maintain, especially over 25 weeks, however long this season's been, right? And I also think if you go back to that opening round game, and this is something that I noticed when I watched it back in March, and it's something that I've obviously heard come up again when I've listened to previews and stuff of this game. Brisbane got on their run early by using that uncontested mark game, chipping the ball around, finding gaps in our defence. Whereas you spoke about how our comeback kind of came out of nowhere. I think that's that ambush style of play that just comes with pressure, turnover, capitalising, contest, winning contested ball. It's almost like we don't know how it's happening as fans looking at it from an external perspective. We don't know how we're getting the ball. We don't know how we're getting it forward. But it's purely because we're just pressure, contest. And that's what got us back into the game and ended up winning the game for us in opening round. And as I finish this point, going back to the prelim, I think one of the reasons why we didn't win the prelim was because we ran out of gas. And when you run out of gas, it's hard to maintain that contest pressure. And that's why we started the game so well, but fell away. And that's also why, as well, quickly, I know I'm rambling, but we towards the back end of last year, we kind of were scraping by in games because it's hard to maintain it.
But now you've got that. Now you've got finals football. Now you've got the month ahead.
Now you're there.
You've got pretty fresh bodies, if I'm honest. And now you just got to do it for 4 weeks.
So at least 4 games.
4 games. Okay, we're going to do the quiz, and then we're going to come back and talk about the game again. So that's that. Hey, Larissa, good luck for tomorrow. Yes, the Charlies signed Guernsey. Tickets are in the live chat. They're pinned to the top. We will literally be drawing the winner in 24 hours and 2 minutes from this very second. So that's very exciting. All right. Chat. Going to need some help. The quiz. Ari, guess which game we're doing?
2019. The Crips game. No?
No.
No.
No. Okay. So
the elimination final?
Yes. We have 8 minutes to guess the 22 that played in the elimination final against the Lions in 2009. Let's go.
Did Cameron Cloak play?
He might have.
Yeah.
He did.
I thought that's why
put
I
us
remember
up by 30, mate.
Fair, yeah. C. Judd, 3 votes.
Judd. Murphy, 25 and a goal. And a goal, mate. Goal kicking mid.
Gibbs
Gibbs.
Uh,
Did Ed Kerno play? No, he didn't.
Before his time.
It was before his time.
Yeah.
Whitnell? No. No, that was Wiggins.
Betts.
Good call, Wiggins.
Betts.
Your boy Paul Bauer.
How is he my boy?
Because you keep guessing him.
Do I?
Jeffrey Garlett.
What?
Simpson. Oh, we have no time for you to get offended, mate.
So you're just doing it. I don't even need to be here.
I want you to contribute, but you're in your feelings.
Cruiser.
Carazzo. Cruiser. Good call. Yep.
So, who would be the ruckman? Hampson.
Yeah.
What's with this 3 ruck? What was Rats? What?
What were we doing? Well, we didn't have a second forward, I guess.
What's with this 3 ruck combo?
Did Waite play? No, Waite didn't play.
Walker. Well, we were playing Waite kind of behind the ball early on in his.
I don't know. I can't remember what year it was, but I think by this point he was a forward.
What's with this? I'm not a fan. Imagine if we played 3 rucks now.
Stevens. What about Richard Hadley? Did he play this game? No. Jamison? No.
Henderson? No, before his time.
No, because Favola was there.
Yeah.
Grigg? Good call. Yeah, nice. Strong Grigg.
Love that. So technically 4 rucks.
Jordan Russell? Yep.
Key back.
Houlihan? Great call.
Thornton?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, good call.
2 defenders. Fuck. Yaron? No.
No.
Yeah, a bit early.
Wait, who's our key defender? Brett Thornton and Heath Scotland would have played. Yes. And then another defender on the interchange bench. Jamison, I've done.
Allard?
Nah.
Laidler? No.
Oh. Nah. Sam Rowe, not his time. A defender in 2008.
Oh, is it like Davies?
Marcus Davies. Oh.
No. What was the other bloke's name?
The other bloke that narrows it down.
Thanks, brother. Your mate. He's not a defender. He's not a defender though, is he?
Who's my mate?
Called? I don't know. Got so many mates.
Mate, my mate is Mark Murphy and Zach Fisher.
Star-studded. What was his name? McGuinness? No.
Andy McInnes. This was before his time.
Okay.
It's 2009. We're playing against the Brisbane Lions. Wow, we really cooked this too. We did Simo Cade, didn't we? Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm.
We did Waite. I don't know why Waite didn't play. Probably injured.
Or suspended.
True. I don't remember us complaining about strength and conditioning back then, but he used to get hemis all the time.
Yeah.
Carazzo, no. Who was the defender? In 2009. Mark Austin? No. Good call, though. It was probably one of those. Yeah, we've got to think of, Mark Austin. Hartlett? Adam Hartlett? No. Aaron Joseph?
Yeah.
Joseph. Wow.
There we
go. I never thought of it at the time, but only now that we've been doing these quizzes have I realized we played 3 rucks. Like, what's going on?
That team is so tall. Like, it's so tall.
This was still the time where, I mean, it was a big man's game. You got Favola, Cruiser, Hampson, and Cameron Cloak.
So who wouldn't have played? So Cloak would have played permanent forward, surely.
Cloak would have played permanent forward. Yep.
That's outrageous. I hate
And
that.
Hampson would have, so
Right.
50% game time, Sean Hampson. Cruiser was a third-year player.
Yeah, but he was also good.
Second year player. Yeah. Cameron Cloak kicks the first goal of the fourth to put us up by 30.
That was as amazing as watching an avocado ride a unicorn. It said it on the thing. It said it on the thing next to the 100%. That's right. That's fine. It's all good. I remember this.
Anyway, back to this week. So 2009, Ari, I was 18 years old.
I was 5.
I was like your age now back then. I was 18 and I still remember Daniel Bradshaw. I remember exactly where I was sitting at home on the couch. I remember exactly the moment that he snapped and the ball curled in. That was my welcome to Carlton moment.
I feel like we all have welcome to Carlton. It's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
What was mine? What
was your welcome to Carlton moment?
I'm sure it has to be a bad moment. I feel like that's the gag, yeah. The Gold Coast 2012 game.
Oh.
Yeah. That's probably my first real conscious bad memory. Yeah, probably. Oh no, sorry, it was the semi. But is the semi really a welcome to Carl moment? Like a semi-final away from home in Perth, under a goal. The Gold Coast one's a far worse loss.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that.
Yeah. So I don't think I made a fan cams compilation for opening round, but what I remember about opening round as well is when people were calling in. I think Paul called in and the cheer squad crew called in from when the boys were getting back on the team bus and they were singing Country Road.
That's good. That's good crack.
Oh, wow. Country Road, hostile territory. Have we spoken about Sam Docherty yet?
Not in full, no.
Let's talk about Sam Docherty. What was your take?
Yeah. I struggle to find words for him as a person.
Okay.
Not even as a footballer. Like, yeah, it's one of the more. Yeah, like if he kicks a goal on Saturday, like we all thought, the goal 2022 round 1 was great, and the goal against Sydney last year was great. It's a shame it's not at the G, but it's gonna be spine-tingling stuff.
You just hope it can be a set shot as well. Cripps just finds him.
If you take, I saw you posted. I think you definitely posted it. You take the play from his goal last year in the prelim, and just put it on Sunday. Cripps with the ball, just hitting up Doc.
How many changes do you think they're going to make?
Well, Doc's one. Charlie, for the sake of argument, say no.
Okay. Doc.
Mackay
is Harry.
Yes. Gov.
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
Williams.
So they're your 4 that basically get almost guaranteed.
Okay.
Dare you say? And then
are you risking one of or two of, Chera, Martin,
and Tom?
What's the other one? Or Tom?
I think if you're going to risk any of them, you risk Tom purely because he's the one that we need the most.
He is the one we need the most.
We
True.
can get away without playing Chara. We can get away without playing Martin. I think Tom's the one that has the most impact when he plays.
Yeah. Look, the idea of Tom playing resting forward with Harry and maybe Brody doing a little number on Harris Andrews while Pitto helps Tom with the ruck and vice versa makes sense. Give Charlie another week off.
But then again, we've seen how many times have we sat here spoken about old games and we've spoken about Charlie kicking 5 goals in 10 minutes, or kick 3 goals in a quarter when he's been unsighted. And if we sit here and lose by 9 points, and Brody kicks 0 goals 2, for example, or Harry kicks 0 goals 2, or Tom doesn't have any influence or whatever, we sit here and go, Charlie at his best really only needs 3 opportunities, kicks 3 goals, win the game.
Well, he was a big part of what got us going in an opening round.
Yeah, he kicked 3 goals in 7 minutes, whatever it was. Yeah,
kicked 3 in a row. I think he kicked 1 before halftime, and then he kicked 3 in a row.
Yeah, so it's like...
So there's a school of thought. Is it just risk it for the biscuit? Everyone
Yeah, well, I was having this conversation at work today, and I was speaking to the people, and they'll go, "Oh, do you actually think Docherty playing is a good idea?" And I sit here and go, if we don't risk the ball, if we risk 2 of them, right, and we make 2 changes or whatever, and we lose by 10 points, the school of thought is, what if we played Charlie? And what if we played Charlie, Doc, and Chara? We probably make up 10 points. We probably win the game, just based on their ability to win games for us. Whereas I think I would be more comfortable in us risking them and having it not worked out than us not risking it and not working out. Because if you like in the same way, like if you don't ask the question, you don't get an answer. If you don't if you don't at least show we're willing to do something to win, and you kind of play it safe, I don't think we've gotten this far to do that. I think we need to give ourselves more credit than that, I think.
So just risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, well, I also do agree with Patrick here. I need to put the players' welfare first, of course. Like if Charlie cannot run, then obviously don't play him, right?
Yeah.
But obviously you need to put the players' welfare first, of course. But but once they cross that line of being able to get through, whether or not they're 100% or not is the different story. Once they're able to get through, like if Charlie can't walk, or if Tom, his lungs still fucked or whatever, his foot's still fucked, then obviously you don't play.
I forgot that they named him in the squad for the Saints game originally.
Yeah.
So, which is now, I guess, raising more questions because they said a sprained ankle, right?
Yeah, I can't remember.
A sprained ankle or 1 to 2 weeks, which 4 weeks later is potentially not in. I mean, we're going to find out tomorrow. That was the other question I had. Do you want tomorrow's team to be the team? Like, don't name someone and give them until the last minute and have a late out. Like, do you want to avoid late outs as much as possible, or is that just part of the mind games of the week?
I wouldn't necessarily call it mind games, as long as the club knows what's going on.
Yeah, true.
Then I don't care. Like if the club are fully in agreement, we're going to give Charlie every single possible chance of it now before the game. And if he doesn't get up, Corey, you're in, and then Brody, you're playing forward or whatever. And as long as all of the players know that and have trained for that scenario and are prepared for that, then it's whatever.
Yeah,
I don't care about the fans. Like, I don't care. It's like, oh, we get our hopes up to see Charlie and then he doesn't play. Who cares? Okay.
Love that. Palazzo, do I know what the live sub count is? You're almost on 13,000. 12,930. Need 70 more for 13K. Ari, I also just realized something behind you that's telling us a bit of a story. If you just sit, don't move. No. I see 2 7s, 4 10s, and an 11.
Yeah.
I see 2 Matt Kennedy goals, 4 goals for Harry Mackay, and a goal for Mitch McGovern.
Nice. What about a goal for 2 goals for Gov?
Oh, it's the surprise goal after the siren. He's lining
And
up.
then what about a goal for Cripper as well?
No, it was just, the one you've just been, or it's just a goal for Mitch McGovern because that's the one that's been directly behind your head, and the others are just distractions.
That's a good point.
Pommy, line in the sand, enemy territory, be a pub quiz question or a fixture in history. This is war. If you are fit enough, we play you. 70% Kerner, going to give Harris more problems than 100% Kemp. Play to win. Yes, sir.
I agree. What's the I mean, we'll kind of make it a number for the sake of argument. What's the percentage that you would and wouldn't risk? If Charlie's 80%, do you play him? Yeah, okay, so Charlie's 100%, you play him. Yes?
My honest if he's 100%, you play him, of course.
Yeah.
My honest feeling is you risk one of DeConing or Charlie. And I think I've talked myself into DeConing and playing him forward because Pito can mitigate the risk a bit. It's a bit smart. And then hopefully Charlie, I mean, it was the optics of rolling him out last week, and he's wearing that new age brace, like just the optics of it, and the photo, and he was just positioned so perfectly, looking at the camera, like it was just a bit too much of a message, if that makes sense.
You're almost preparing Carlton fans for the worst in a sense.
Am I? Oh,
no,
as in
the club.
Yeah, I'm excited about a fresh Harry Mackay.
I'm very excited. I think, I rave about him. I think he's very underratedly important for our team.
Yeah.
So an 80%, so 100% Charlie plays. If Charlie's 90%, do you play him?
Yeah, I think. Okay, what's the threshold?
Yeah, 80, probably.
Probably 80.
60?
No.
70?
Maybe. I mean, it's not like he's. Well, can he still? The thing is, it's the left foot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the left foot.
So it's the one that he jumps off.
And it's also the one that he plants before he kicks.
Yeah.
So So I mean, if it's the right foot, it's also the one that he kicks with. So there's not exactly a good foot for him to hurt, because both your this will be a groundbreaking bit of information. Both of your feet are very important if you want to be an AFL footballer. So in case anyone didn't know that.
Do we have the photo of Charlie Curnow?
It was on Twitter. I don't know how accessible it will be.
It is. Hang on a minute. I'll find it. Hang on. I've got it. DeConing's in the air.
Lou, how do you determine what percentage fitness is? I don't know.
Oh, sorry, this is from last year.
It's just a kind of performative exercise. Although I think if it's a really tricky one because it's not, and that's what it is with injuries. Like you can't really quantify it on what he can and can't do, because if you can't jump, then you don't play him. But if you can only jump 50%, then it's like, well, what is it? Then
it's this one that just gets me. It's like it's too perfect of a photo. Well, it's just too perfect of a photo. Just look at this. Look at me. I don't know.
Can you zoom in if you can? There we go.
Yeah, I can. Hang on.
Just buy the photo for $7,000.
Okay, Ari.
No, $700. Don't.
You see?
You know, I said it, but I'm saying for the audience. Adidas socks. Is he an Adidas athlete? I didn't know.
You didn't know that?
I thought I don't really care.
Do you have any other? Yeah, Foxwood, welcome. Can you believe we played 3 rucks in a final?
I'm baffled. Baffled. Yeah. That's insane.
No wonder why Rats was gone.
Maybe that's 3 rucks in a final. Goodness.
Yeah. Hey, I tweeted something today.
What'd you tweet?
There's a tweet going around saying, "Can someone pinpoint the exact moment that the world turned to shit?"
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, very funny.
No. Yeah, I posted a photo of Mick and Sticks shaking hands.
Nice.
Thanks, man. Miko, why did they name Doc so early?
I don't feel like we talked about Doc enough.
Okay, let's talk about Doc.
Where does he play? Actually, we'll answer the question. We'll answer the question. Why do you?
Well, I think it's to get us going, don't you? And I think also to break the news from the club.
Yes, of course. I agree. Yeah. I'm happy the club did it, and I'm happy it wasn't leaked. However, the only person I would have been fine with it breaking apart from the club is Mitch Cleary, because he's the one that's followed it all the way through, and spoke about it 3 months ago. So, and I like Mitch, so, but that's by the by. Yeah, I what? I appreciate the art
of what?
Journalism.
Okay.
Yeah, I reckon it's for the fans' sake. I reckon the club would have known. Do you reckon they would have known the same day that it was announced?
Yeah, well, I just think they would have shut it down unequivocally that he wasn't going to play. You know?
Yeah.
Like if he wasn't going to play, they would have just shut it down. So they did. They always left the door ajar for the possibility. The difference here was that he used the quad graft, which is the same technique that Tyson Goldsack used in 2018. He did his ACL in the preseason, played in the finals against the Eagles, qualifying final.
I also think Dan McStay did that as well.
Yeah, and then Dan McStay used the exact same technique as well, and he's said to have potentially got a greater chance of, having a stronger healing. And I think Doc, having done it a couple of times, would have picked up a few things
along the way
when it comes to rehab.
Yeah. So, yeah, when my rationale thinks about, like, when I justify Doc coming back quickly because he's done it before, it's not because he's done it before it heals quicker. I think because he's done it before, he knows what the rehab's like. He knows the tips and tricks on how to fast track it and how to really get the most out of himself, as well as understanding his body. So he knows how strong his leg is now, his knees, how stable it is, because he's done it twice before, so he can compare it. And I think he's come out and said that he feels, in comparison to the last two, very strong in comparison to where he was at this stage in the other two injuries that he had. So,
hey, Digsby, no, didn't Goldsack play the same year, 2018? He did it in the preseason game against the Doggies, and then he played in the qualifying final against West Coast. He played on Josh Kennedy. I'm pretty sure that's the sequence of events.
I believe that's the case. I'll double check that, but yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's how it went down. So maybe help me confirm that.
So Goldsack had his left knee reconstructed on March 22nd, 12 days after his ACL failed in a preseason match. He defied all odds to return to the field on August 25th in the first of 2 VFL hit-out matches before being a part of the Collingwood backline to start the final series. So March 22nd to August 25th is basically the same timeline.
Yeah. The beauty about anything this week, like Doc in particular, if we stay on Doc, like, I'm not expecting him to have 25 touches. I'm just expecting him to keep his width, help organize things, prevent holes around the ground, communicate. So I don't really have many expectations around him.
Yeah, that was going to be my boss. I love it. That was going to be my next question. Where do you think he plays?
Bit of credit, surely, Ari. Bit of credit.
Oh no, I loved it. It was great. Some of your better stuff.
Well, actually, Frankie made it. I came up with I thought of the concept because of the traps that Voss has, but Frankie actually made it.
Love it, Frankie.
Yeah,
you give Terry too much credit.
I lobbed it, and Frankie dunked it.
Thank you for your visual demonstration. I was going to say, where does he play? Because that's obviously the talk. Are you saying wing?
Wing forward, no?
Wing forward, yeah, fair enough. I'm hearing sub. People talk about him playing as a sub, which I'm not horrendously opposed to, because if you're going to give him a little bit of caution in regards to match fitness, etc., playing him as a sub, having him come on, impact player, the emotional lift, etc., I fully agree with. However, because of his smarts, having him play a defensive forward role on someone like a Dane Zorko, where he can negate him, and then when he does get the ball, he's obviously very damaging, can hit the scoreboard. I also think that's not necessarily something out of the question either.
I don't know. I just want him free.
Do you reckon that's the best way to go about it? Just like let him play?
So, because I mean, we've got ball winners, we've got contested balls, we've got guys that can win the ball. I think the issue that we've got is at times, using the entirety of the ground and using the width of the ground and using every inch of it. And you just need a couple of guys that can just keep their width and not get sucked into the contest. Like Kennedy, Hewitt, Cripps, plenty in there. I mean, Walsh can do it as well to an extent as well. Plenty in there that can win the football. It's what can we do on the outside? That's going to be the difference for me. No. Yeah, Palazzo Fredo. Do you put Cincotta on Zorko? Who would you say is the most taggable player on the Lions this week?
As in, which one should we tag?
Yeah, as in the player that you think should or must, or do you think no tag, go head to head, back yourselves in?
I think we go head to head in the midfield.
Agreed.
I think
would not agree more.
I think it's their back half game, which is really strong. Zorko, but also Harris Andrews. I wouldn't be surprised if Brody Kemp stays forward and plays a little bit of a negating role on Andrews. Because we saw, to use an example, we saw Billy Frampton do it in the grand final to great effect. And Brody Kemp not only is he a defender, so he knows how to defend, but he's capable of hitting the scoreboard as well should the opportunity present. And then Zorko is just so important for them when the ball's coming out of their back half. He moved there because of the Coleman injury. Got All Australian honours. I think he's actually the oldest ever All Australian. Don't quote me on that, but I think that might be true.
Yeah.
So I think from their ball movement perspective, he's probably one of their most important.
Yeah, Charlie Cameron's probably going to have an Adam Sard matchup again. That seems to be what we've done the last couple of years.
Yep.
And then Zorko's the one,
in my opinion. But I also would not be surprised if we go and tag Neil, because he's on the precipice of another Brownlow potentially. If that's 3 Brownlows in 4 years, it's a joke.
He won't win the Brownlow.
We didn't think he'd win it last year. Cripps should win it, and I hope he does, but you never know.
I'm just saying Neil won't win it.
Okay, that's fine. That's great. Love that for you. Also, watchful eye on Patrick Cripps, because since that 2019 game, I think the stat is something along the lines of his lowest average player ratings per game come against Brisbane. That has something to do, in my opinion, with certain Mr. Josh Dunkley, who has played him fantastically well over the last couple of times.
I've got one for you.
Hit me with it, mate.
We have lost our last 8 interstate finals.
Yeah, nice.
This would be the 9th opportunity.
Is the last one that we beat Brisbane.
Actually, you know what?
I think it was Brisbane in '99. I think it was a semi in Brisbane in '99, run by like.
We need to find out. Chat, when's the last time? Wait, what? We've never won an interstate final? Wait.
No, that's a lie. No, wait.
We could have found something here, Ari. Chat, when's the last time we won an interstate final?
Apparently, well, the chat's saying we haven't.
What? We've never won a final outside of Melbourne? Wait, are you guys sure?
I guess it makes sense.
Hang on a minute. Carlton v Brisbane 1999 finals. We played the Lions. We beat the Lions. No, the Lions beat us 138-65. That was the qualifying final. Wait, hang on a minute.
Yeah, they're not wrong. The chat is smart. I told you we got a very smart fan base. Yeah, that's right.
Hang on. Carlton have not won an interstate final. Is that what you're telling me?
It does make sense in fans if you think about it.
Oh my god, that's the hook.
We're winning. No, we're winning.
No, that gives me full confidence, mate.
It's the year of the broken curse. We're winning.
It's the year of the broken curse. Correct.
We're absolutely winning.
Wait.
Absolutely winning.
Hang on a minute. Some people are disputing this. If you're disputing this, you need to tell us when we did win an interstate final.
No, we haven't. We've won away finals, played at the G, but we haven't won interstate finals. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there you go. Bang. Oh, we're winning. It's the year of the broken curse. We're winning.
We lost to Brisbane, then beat West Coast at the MCG 99. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
We beat Brisbane in 95. No, don't. I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, we beat West Coast 70-124 at the MCG Saturday, 11th of September. Oh, that's a really weird. Hey, when's our match? What's the date of our match? It's the 7th, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When was the last time we played a final on the 7th?
Well,
hey, don't steal my shtick.
We played the Brisbane Lions on the 4th of September on a Saturday. The Gabba. What about when we played in 09? Carlton v Brisbane Elimination Final.
You're not very the 5th of September. You're not very good at looking up stats and looking up games.
Okay, mate. No problem.
I need to show you the ways.
Okay, Ari, show me how to do things. We played
AFLtables.com.
AFL tables. Here we go. .com. All right, Ari. I already have the answer, but I'm going to keep going. Now what?
Now figure it out yourself. You're a big boy.
Oh, okay, mate. So we played the elimination final at the Gabba 2009, Saturday, the 5th of September. Okay, that doesn't really give us much. Wow. Okay.
Was last year's final wasn't a night game, was it? It was twilight.
It was twilight.
That's bizarre. That's weird.
Oh, we haven't won an interstate final. Sick.
Why has that made me more confident? We're fucking
same.
Delusional.
It's made me way more confident.
We're fucking delusional, mate. We're fucking. Look, okay.
To be fair, the interstate teams came in to the comp when?
Mid-90s.
Yeah.
And that's when we started to become bad in the 2000s. Yeah, so that's what I said. It makes sense if you think about it.
That's amazing.
No, correct. We're winning. Perfect.
How is that not being in any narrative? You watch tomorrow. You watch.
Who's watching?
Someone on social media or in the mainstream, like that's coming out. That's an article tomorrow. Guarantee it.
Should tweet it.
Should tweet it.
I was speaking about this at work today. If we win the grand final, it would be the best premiership win of all time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
So the question is, are you willing to get hurt again? Like,
No, I don't.
are you willing to just let go again? I let go, clearly. I always let go. And then I like shriveled up after Hawthorn. I lost myself for about a month. Had a really good therapeutic session with the jumper punch last night. We went for 5 hours live. And I'm ready. I'm so ready to get hurt again.
I now
Harry,
need
take
to.
that fucking scarf off, please.
Why?
Get rid of it, please. This is not the time for Port Adelaide, love. We've been there, done that.
Okay.
Good man.
I know I feel cold. I need to like mentally prepare myself for them to do it again.
Let's do it.
Because all I could say last week, 2 weeks ago, I'm just gonna say last game, was I just can't believe they did that again.
Too bad. Get over it.
Yeah, thanks for your moral support, appreciate it.
No, as in like, how do we get you moving into Saturday?
Just take it one day at a time. You know.
No, but you're talking about last Sunday. So how do we get you stop talking about last Sunday?
I haven't spoken about last Sunday since till now.
Okay, but like we've done that now, and now we're ready. Oh, I'm so ready to get hurt. So ready.
Yeah.
I can cop getting hurt in finals. Can't cop getting hurt in a regular season and not playing finals. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you win, you're stoked, you're the underdog, and you've come from behind. No one's believing in you. Great. You lose, obviously, the conversation will turn pretty quickly to wasted opportunity. What happened when you're 11-4? Blah blah blah. Actually, I'll ask you, what would it take to tick off this season as a pass in your mind from here?
A preliminary final.
A prelim? Get back to the prelim.
The expectation doesn't change. I think if there's any season a team from 8th is going to win the grand final, it's this year. It's competitive, and I mean I've spoken about it last year so many times. This is one of the more mediocre seasons we've had because it's either mediocre or competitive, depending on which way you look at it. Regardless of which way you look at it, the same kind of principle exists. Anyone can beat anyone. So if any team from 8th is going to win it, it's this year. We need to take that and we need to expect to perform as if we are going to win it, if that makes sense. We can't go there and say, we're happy to be here, blah, 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 blah. Like most teams have done that when they finished 8th in the past because it's like the top 4 are so horrendously out of reach. Top 2 are out of reach. I mean, Port Adelaide beat Sydney by 112 points a couple of weeks ago, right? Hawthorn smashed us, right? Like destroyed us. Like the Dogs and Port, they had their game a couple of weeks ago. So the fact that anyone can beat anyone means that you need to, regardless of where you finish, you need to go in expecting that you could win the grand final. And our preseason expectations for me were prelim, and that should change.
Frankie, what was the thing about Fagan talking about quitting if they don't win a flag? I don't know if I saw that. But that's interesting. Yeah. Dino, is Charlie out? I don't know. So I set up Charlie to be the face of the thumbnails this week, as you can see. And then I saw the article today that he's looking unlikely or whatever. So I've got the doc one just in case. Also, I was trying to time it with the Charlie Curnow signed Guernsey giveaway. So I don't know. Hopefully he plays. But if he doesn't, we'll just move on with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. We can't dwell on it.
I'm really in a good space when it comes to, he has to do this and he has to do this. I don't care who does what.
I sit. I'm not a fan of the pre-finals bye, but I think it's helped us immeasurably. I think it's helped us immeasurably. So I'm going to sit here and be content with it for this season. And I think David King said something about over the last 2 weeks, like with the West Coast and St Kilda game. Granted, the St Kilda game didn't fall our way, but we found something. We found that edge back, and I think if we can take that, carry it over, with your Mackay's back in, McGovern's, Doc, Williams, etc., potentially Charlie this week, or should we get there the week after? I think that's what's going to give us the best chance, is that if we can carry over that contest and pressure that we showed over the last 2 weeks into the finals. And I think we should. You'd like to think. How'd you get my x-rays, mate? That's a bit weird.
Question is, do you have that dog in you?
Actually an idiot.
That's the question that you need to ask yourself, Ari.
Do you have the dog in you?
I believe so. Yeah, I've got that dog in me.
That's show a bit of gusto, mate.
Yeah, but like you don't over tell people that you got that dog in you. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah, right. Do I have it?
You absolutely do not have that dog in you. And I love you. I love you. But you don't have that dog in you.
We'll throw it into that one in fairness.
Yeah.
No, very good. That's great. That's some cutting edge analysis by you there. Brilliant.
Yeah.
What's going to be our keys to victory, Matt?
Contest and pressure.
Contest and pressure. Correct answer. Love it.
Yeah, that is the keys to victory. Flying up Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. Flying up Saturday, flying home Sunday, fan cams from I remember last year it took us ages to get back to the apartment. Just got to organize that better this year.
Are you staying far out?
Not far out. Like in theory it's a 15-minute drive, but after the game, it's just a mess, right? The Gabba.
Hopefully we send them all home halfway through the last. And
true. How do you see the game playing out?
I think, and I was going to mention in my monologue, but I didn't find the room for it. I think the prelim was fast start, close the game, close till the end. Opening round, fast start, close game, close to the comeback, close to the end. I think this game ain't going past 10 points for the whole game.
Oh,
it's going to be a thriller. I reckon it's going to be tight.
So Paul was driving to the jumper punch. We were driving to Rocco's yesterday, and we're talking about the game. And he's like, I just can't split the two teams. I don't have a read on the game. And then he ended up predicting it'll go to extra time. The last time he said something like that was when he picked the draw. Between Richmond and Carlton. Oh my God, extra time at the Gabba.
So that's 3-minute halves plus time on.
2 5-minute halves plus time on. And then if it's still a draw, and then if it's still a draw, then it goes to 3-minute halves.
You sure it's 5?
Yeah, pretty sure. No? Am I incorrect?
5 makes sense, but I feel like I thought it was 3. Anyways,
it's 5 in the first instance, and if there's still a tie after the 2 5-minute halves, then it goes to 3.
That makes more sense. Okay, that makes sense.
Catalaves?
Εντάξει. So regardless, surely the club would. It's like in soccer, you got to prepare for penalty shootouts, even though the likelihood is that it probably won't happen. Surely the club will have to do the due diligence in some respect. Surely.
Of what?
To prepare for an extra time.
By doing what?
I don't know. In the same way that you would prepare if the game is close, in the same way that you would prepare if you're 30 points down, in the same way you prepare if you're 30 points up. It's a scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to expand on that? Or just give me nothing?
I don't really... Wait, repeat what you said.
I'm saying, what do you think the preparation would be for it? Like, what do you reckon they would do in that situation?
Well, I don't know if you prepare for extra time. You prepare to. I mean, you just.
Would they just treat it as if there's like 5 minutes to go in the game, like normally?
Yeah, I would think you get a little break.
You don't, but you don't over the half time in extra time. It's literally swap ends and then ball back up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, once you get to, I think once you get to a potential extra time situation, the only question you need to answer is,
that's when you send the tagger. Yeah, okay. You got the sillies today.
I've got the sillies. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I've got the sillies. Well, mate, we're playing finals, mate. What do you mean? We begged for this.
Yeah, I know.
Begged. Got to 2022 in the dying seconds, ripped out of our hands, and now we're here.
It's nearly ripped out again.
Yeah. All right. Before we wrap it up, wild prediction. An unspoken storyline that will appear.
Unspoken. Well, so I can't say anything related to do with Doc.
No.
Jesse Motlop kicks 4. You don't. I don't think you understand when he gets that handball off Fantasia, whoever it was last week.
Yeah.
And he kicks that goal. I'm sitting here going, yeah, perfect. It's perfect. It's the guy that the much maligned guy on this show, especially. And that's why I was like, it's perfect. That's it. That's done.
Do you want to do a head shaving bet?
No.
I have a hair to shave now. It's growing back.
I'd love that for you. You can do it.
Are you going to get a fresh haircut before Saturday?
I literally got a haircut last week.
Yeah. Okay. That wasn't my question.
Haircuts are expensive, mate.
Yeah.
Money doesn't grow on trees, buddy.
Okay. Lewis Young kicks a goal. Charlie puts all the he can't play in finals talk in the bin. Prince to kick 6. Dot kicks the winning point in extra time.
Imagine if that actually happens.
Williams with 4. Oh, you took it out of my mind.
Oh, yeah, Zach.
It's, you know why it's Zach?
Why?
The guy is a finals performer.
Ah, yes.
Yep.
Big game player.
We signed him because of his ability to lift in the prelim against the Pies.
We signed him as a midfielder based on one game that he played as a midfielder. True. Just some unbelievable list management there.
True. Ari writing checks his mouth can't cash. So good.
I'm not. I'm not doing the bet for a reason.
Zachary Williams, first of his name.
Yeah, I reckon it's. Can we get a weather check?
A weather check? Great question.
Thanks.
Weather
I'm full of them.
Gabba, Saturday, 7th September. Oh, mate, 26 degrees.
Oh, God, that's not good.
Why?
Hot. I'm not used to heat. No.
I haven't.
Good for you. You sit there, get a tan.
Well, how am I going to get a tan at night, mate?
During the day, buddy.
What day? I'm getting there at 2:30. Well, I'm just going to go out and stand in the sun all day.
No, probably something you'd do with a book.
It would definitely be something I do. But no, I got a bit of a tan last weekend. Pardon?
Do you want some Carlton? To help?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Will you send me some?
No, God no. Buy it yourself.
I have to buy it?
Yeah.
After all I do for you, and I have to buy it?
I'll see what I can do for you.
Yeah. No, I got a nice tan last Sunday. Played tennis in the sun. It was great.
Did you win?
I actually lost.
Who'd you play?
Nothing. Well, he bought a new racket.
And that means
I've beaten him like in the last 12 meetings. I've beaten him like 11 of the 12. And then he's cracked it. He's bought a new racket, and the racket was, I mean, it's a brand new racket. What do you want?
sounds like excuses for mine.
It is an excuse. There is no excuse. I was poor.
Jimmy, how much are you paying for haircuts? I paid $57 for my haircut the other day.
Can you get a refund?
Skin fades are expensive, bro.
The humidity, I don't know what the humidity is.
I might shave it.
You should shave it. I've been telling you for a long time.
Yeah. The more you tell me, the less I want to do.
All right, mate.
You're getting robbed. No, if you skin fades, the $50 pretty much everywhere you go. That's the going rate.
Everywhere they go.
Yeah. I think it was 57 with fees.
Typically, September is the driest weather for Brisbane.
Seems like your humour's taking a leaf out of that book.
Oh, well, you're getting roasted.
Yeah, I know.
My toasty was better bang for buck than your haircut.
Hey, that's not a shot at me. I didn't cut it. I didn't cut my hair. You're some poor bloke who just cut it. I forgot his name, but
yeah. All right. Well, guys, that's reflections. Ari, this is not it.
No, yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not. We're back.
Don't shit me. This is not it.
Can we do one regardless? Like the week after? Can we reflect on the home and away season? Regardless, or like of the season, regardless of when we stop playing.
No.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Get in the sack, guys.
No, you know why? Because you're trying to have a bit of a rope pulled. You want like a safety net for another show.
No, I just really enjoy doing this.
Yeah, so do I. And
yeah, so why don't we do it?
Because it's only it's reflections before a game. You're just fearful that this is the last one, and you just
I just like doing it. I don't think it's the last one. I generally don't. That's why I'm not going.
Will you go to Sydney if we make it? Oh,
I have very much a love-hate relationship with Sydney. I've been there 3 times, watched 3 games, and we've lost them all. Been to Adelaide once, and we've won them. So,
Ari, how do we finish this show without doing a predictor?
Oh yes! Oh god! Channel 1, I don't want to do this anymore.
No, I want to get everyone that I do a show with. I want to get what's in their mind.
24-hour stream when Carlton win the premiership. If Carlton win the premiership, Terry will do a 24-hour stream, and I'll shave my head.
Guys, I promise you, 24. When inshallah, we win the premiership. We're not going to do fan cams that night. It's going to be everyone go party, celebrate. See you the next day, and we do fan cams for however long it takes. And if my brain explodes, Pommy can take over. Whatever. We just keep going. Inshallah.
Great. Love it.
All right, Ari, what is in your mind when it comes to predicting round 1 of finals?
The Jebba Giants.
Really?
Done. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Brisbane Carlton?
Brisbane will lose. Yeah.
Doggies, Hawks? I'm going.
I'm so jealous. This is going to be a fucking cracker of a game. Dogs. Upset. Hockball.
Port Geelong?
God. I'm so happy this game is the first one to get it out of the way. Port's midfield would be too strong.
Okay.
I think the Dogs win. Yeah, we exact revenge. The Giants win, and Porter flaky, yeah. I think the Giants win the grand final. Can't win. Okay, we're not even going to see the replay or the recap.
Oh,
Could have broken it down a little bit, analysed it.
interesting. Yeah.
This is very much heart. Although
You're
Yeah.
one of the first to tip the Giants this
Really?
week. Yeah.
I think the Giants are very good. I think they're very good. I think the Giants and it's very tight. I don't think Port or Geelong are all too flash. I don't think they crash hot. I think whoever wins, Dogs Hawthorn makes the prelim. And I think the Swans. Look, if Brisbane beat us and they're versus Swans in the semi, I think Swans will win. But yeah, it's just
Fair. There you go. Well,
lovely.
guys, that's Reflections this Wednesday, the 4th of September, 2024. Ari, thanks for being here. It's always
Thank you
a
for
pleasure,
having me
mate.
once again.
No worries. Don't forget, in less than 24 hours, one of you is taking home the signed Curnow, match-worn Guernsey, and the Charlie Curnow candle. How cool is it? There's a Crips one too.
Oh, great. Love that. Do you have spares?
I do.
Actually.
Mate, you give me Carlton, I'll give you a candle.
I think that's a fair trade.
Well, all right, I'll wait for my Carlton in the mail.
No.
Ari, Galinichta.
Galinichta, my friend.
Bye, everyone. Go
Ciao.
Blues.